This video will help to explain the definitions and context for the verbs in your More Verbs list. All of our words on the list are action verbs that tell what something is performing. The first word on our list is garner. Garner means to gather or collect, to accumulate or earn. It usually has something to do with knowledge or ideas. So, for example, in my sample sentences, before I bake my pie, I will garner the advice of my grandma and aunt about the best recipe. Or, Johnny will garner the reputation of teacher's pet if he keeps sucking up to Mrs. Morris like that. So he's gathering or he's earning the reputation to garner. The next word is mar. Mar means to spoil or damage, to injure or blemish. It means to reduce the quality of, or to make something not as perfect. It is not the same as rotting or expiring, like milk would expire. It would not mar. You also need something to mar something else. It's a transitive verb, so that means something is performing this action. In my sample sentences, for example, do not mar our experience by whining and crying the whole time. We all want to have a good time. My second sample, don't plant the tree there or it will mar our view of the fireworks when it grows bigger. Mar means to make something less perfect or to reduce the quality, to spoil or damage it. The next verb is heed. Heed means to listen to or pay attention and consider. It means to mind. So, for example, I suggest that you heed my advice about staying away from that boy. You will be better off if you listen to me. Or, heed the warning about the slope ahead and slow down. Heed, so you're listening or considering. The next word is meander. Meander means to wander casually with no set plan or to ramble. A river might meander, or you might meander down the path. Here's an example. The path that they plan to install in the park will meander through the gardens for all to enjoy. Or, it is necessary to meander through the crowded hallways. There is never a direct route. So, to meander means to move like in a winding pattern and a winding route, not a straight line. A river can meander, a path can meander, a person would meander down the path. The next word is nullify. It means to render unimportant or without worth, to negate or invalidate, or to annul legally. It means to make zero or to make not valuable anymore. I wanted to nullify my credit card debt, so I made more than the required monthly payment until my balance was zero. Or, the presidential candidate vows to nullify the health care policy if he gets elected. Things will go back to the way they were. You can nullify agreements by dissolving them, nullify marriages by getting a divorce, or nullify policies by making them not valid anymore. The next word is obliterate. This means to erase completely, wiping out all traces. This is like a total destruction. In my first sentence, the asteroid will obliterate our town and leave no evidence that we ever existed. It's like a reckless, total explosion kind of thing, to obliterate. Here's another example. If you do not turn in this research paper worth 100 points, you will obliterate your grade and have no hope of recovering your GPA. So again, to obliterate means to completely wipe out. It probably has no plan involved. It has no organization. It's just total destruction. The next word is mitigate. To mitigate means to ease or make less severe, to alleviate or relieve. For example, the credit card company was willing to help mitigate my debt by accepting a monthly payment that was more within my budget. So that means to make it more manageable, to make it less severe. In my second example, to mitigate my pain, the doctor prescribed a pain reliever known as acetaminophen. So mitigate here means to actually take away pain, to make something more manageable, to make it better. To mitigate. You could also mitigate disagreements by reaching a compromise. The next word is peruse. Peruse means to study or examine carefully. Somebody would need to peruse something. So, for example, I took my time to peruse the menu at McDonald's. Now that they post the calorie count, I want to make sure I pick the healthiest option. Or, the teacher said to peruse my notes for homework tonight in case there is a test in class tomorrow. So to study carefully, to go over and read thoroughly. This next word is raze, and it means to tear down completely or to demolish. This is usually used in the context of construction, where there is a set plan and it's a very controlled environment. This is not the same thing as obliterate. Obliterate happens without a plan of action. It happens totally haphazardly. The word raze is more planned and organized, like I said, for a construction team. So in my sample sentences, I was relieved when the community decided to raze the old playground and clubhouse. Kids will be safer when it's gone. Or, plans were in place to raze the old mansion at the end of the street because of zoning regulations, but the Historical Society petitioned to keep the building preserved. So it's to raze means to deconstruct, to remove a building. The last word here is obscure. As a verb, it means to conceal or to conceal by confusing, by like if you obscure the meaning of your words by using difficult language, for example, or to make dark, dim, or indistinct. Somebody would need to obscure something else. Here's some examples. The teacher put her hand over the word to obscure the answer until everyone had a chance to guess. Then she revealed the word and we checked our work. Or, the sheer curtain worked to obscure the view of the bedroom from the neighbors. Now we feel like we have privacy. So, as a verb, the word obscure means to make something less clear. Those are your 10 words for the More Verbs vocabulary list. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.